Hey everybody, and welcome back to this new React Couch I guess we're going to try and do here on the show. I just thought it might be kind of interesting to show you guys a little bit of just us kind of watching it maybe a little bit together and some of the comments as we kind of look through the episode. Just to get straight off, I mean, it looks like Michonne is majorly still broken as we continue in. 6 years later, I'm calling this our day, 6 years plus one. Yeah, that's Rick Day, that went down as we lost Rick in the last episode. So 6-year time jump. Judith is now about 10 years old. It looks like the communities are broken. They're broken apart. We're seeing some footage with Carol, with Henry, and Ezekiel all over at the kingdom. We didn't see anything from Hilltop in tonight's episode. We did get to see Judith in action, along with Michonne and kind of her state of mind and where things are, which isn't totally great. I mean, but here it has been 6 years, and she is still like talking to Rick, on the side, and I guess trying to keep her sanity and her strength going. I mean, I guess it shows that true love and bond that Michonne truly had with Rick. I mean, they were a powerhouse together, and it's such a damn shame that they went out, and in fact that she doesn't even know that he is really still alive at this point in time, just somewhere super far away. But so Judith took in these newcomers, and I kind of like the new style that Alexandria has going. I guess being that things are a little segregated, I guess they have to be careful who they can trust on the road. So when these 5 newcomers came into the settlement of Alexandria, everybody was like, whoa, why are these people here, and what's going on? You're breaking protocol. Even Eugene called it out. And but yet Aaron and the others, they went ahead and let him come back in. And even after frisking him, I didn't quite catch it myself, but my wife was saying when Michonne refrisked the lead chick, the one that used to be the waitress at the truck stop, that she almost knew for sure that she had found something, which I just kind of blew right over it, but that makes total sense. And she did. She set her up totally. So when they went to their little trial by jury, led by none other than Gabriel, and Gabriel, by the way, just cool little sight. How about that action between Gabriel and Rosita? So Rosita and him found love, it seems. It may be a little bit more of a secret on the down low because Eugene brought it up, and it didn't sound like she wanted to talk about it. But in fact, there was kind of a weird scene where Eugene was almost kind of confessing his love for her, but she wasn't quite having it. But to get back to the trial, Gabriel opens it up, and then so people start asking their questions. I was a little tiny disappointed that they weren't asking the questions that Rick had first. I'd say that he's the founder of. Those 3 or 4 questions he had. Where do you come from? I mean, I guess that kind of was in there, but they didn't ask about who have you had to kill. I mean, they said, what did you do to survive? I guess that could be the same thing, but I mean, really, it's not the same though. It's like, who have you killed, and why did you do it? What did you have to do to survive? So, all the same, it was kind of neat just to see this trial thing going on. But yeah, Michonne totally set this chick up and revealed that she had a tattoo on her wrist, that she was in prison at one point in time, probably maybe federal prison, maybe for something hard time. And then she finds the knife on her as well. It's in her belt buckle, excuse me. And so it was just like, oh, and this chick had attitude written all over her. I mean, the other people, between the music and the sincerity, it seemed like, they were legit and they really want to be a part of a community and try and be safe. But man, that one main chick, she just didn't want to have anything to do with it. At least, I mean, I guess she's jealous because she could see everything they could have, but they can't have it. But I'm like, if you're coming in with that kind of attitude, what do you expect? You're going to get major cold shoulder. So just fast forwarding with that crew. So Michonne basically says you guys can stay the night, but you guys are going to have to leave pretty much first thing the next morning. And so there's an interesting conversation scene between the 5 of those newcomers in a room and one of them's deaf, by the way, so I think that's kind of a cool element bringing to the show. And also how super hard to survive the apocalypse being deaf. I mean, you'd have to have somebody helping you out at all times because you never know when a zombie might creeping up your ass, right around the corner. But it was kind of cool seeing her interaction, and her and the other chicks seem like they're really good people. The music teacher guy, again, he seems broken, he seems sincere, he just seems scared, just plain out, just seems scared. But everything else, they're talking, and hardcore chick wants to pretty much fight to stay. And I'm like, thinking to myself, you're going to fight to stay what? You're going to go, murder everybody in the colony or murder as many as you can so then that way they'll just fall in line to you 4 or 5? Come on now, you're not going to get past that. So luckily her friends are able to talk her out of it, and she gives back the knife, but of course, as we were seeing, she's just so damn hard-headed. She decides that she's going to, I guess, go on her own little spree. So she steals that little necklace knife back from the music teacher guy and goes out. She finds Michonne's house, and luckily there's when she did show up, Michonne, which I want to say is her son, maybe Rick and Michonne's son, I want to say. I don't know. I mean, he'd have to be 6 years old, and I got to be honest, just knowing my kids, that kid did not look like he was 5 or 6 years old. But we don't know yet, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see, speculate. If you guys think you might know, make sure to comment in the comments below. So, but she's standing out the window. She has a moment of kind of clarity and her conscience, which was very good to see that this chick is not all evil. So that gives me hope for what could be, and that she could be a good part of the community maybe at some point in time. But so she puts the knife away, and then she actually goes to the front door and knocks on it and hands the other one to Michonne, says, "You missed one." So that shows to me a real open honesty, of trying to come clean, and she talks about how I've done things and I'm not proud of them, but this is what we are, and I do it all just to survive and keep my friends alive. And Michonne, she basically agrees and so forth. So I think we all pretty much figured that Michonne was not going to kick him out. She has a small conversation with Judith. Judith kind of just talking, and I'm still trying to figure out Judith, if I like her or if not. It's a little early to say. She's a young actress, and I think for her age, she's doing pretty well overall. But she says to Michonne that her brother and her dad's voices, she's losing them, she's forgetting them, and how hard about that in the apocalypse. I mean, she doesn't have a picture of her dad or her brother, and now she can't almost remember their voices. And she says to Michonne, "I hope you can." And so I guess as a thing to Michonne, saying, you know who my dad was and my brother and what they believed in, and so I hope you still hear them talking to you, telling you to do the right thing and let these people in and to help others. So that's very strong and very deep coming from just a 10-year-old, but I think it also shows the qualities that Michonne is trying to instill in her, so that's pretty cool to the side. So the other big event was going on. I guess Eugene and Rosita are going to try and mount this amplifier for their radio waves or whatever, so on one of these water towers, so that way they can broadcast a signal more wide range to see what else is out there. I got a big problem with this. It's just like the people wanting to, all the groups want to say, "Hey, let's broadcast radio waves out and into space and see if we can find other life forms." Man, if they could get here, it's not going to be a good thing. They're going to want everything we have, and I figure this is the same analogy when it comes back to living in an apocalypse. I mean, you don't know who you're going to run into. I mean, sure, Negan was the ultimate badass, just mean, a diabolical leader, and who else is out there? So probably, I don't like it. I don't like it, never will. But all the same, and they have a good community going too. So why would you want to mess that up? So they get out there, and then Eugene spots a herd coming back in. Somehow, I guess they thought they were heading one direction. Well, they weren't. They ended up coming right back to where they were, at those two water towers. And Eugene's trying to make his way down quick, which, mind you, I would never get my ass up that high. I hate heights as it is, whether you're a skinny guy, a large guy, girl, whatever. I don't know. I'm just not doing the whole heights thing. So, but he starts making his way down, and I guess they had a 12-foot, maybe 20-foot ladder that was, I guess, extended up to reach that last rung, and the damn ladder falls over. And instead of calling over to Rosita, he just decides, well, I could probably make it, and he just drops down. Come on, you're going to sprain an ankle, break a limb, who knows what. And he does. He hurts his knee super bad. Rosita gets over, starts to help him. They start making their way down. At basically one point, he's about to give up and just like, I'm good, which there were some cool scenes with Eugene earlier in this episode, finally stepping up to the plate. He's using his knife, he's taking out zombies. He's not the meek little frail one, but for a moment here, we get to see, a part of Eugene that's similar to what he used to be like. Now, I will say though, he was being brave, I guess, probably hoping that Rosita could get away, and then he'll do what he has to do and die so that she can get away. So I guess that's noble. But he's about to confess to her, and she totally can see it. I guess his love for her, and she's just like, "Don't make this weird. We got to go now." And so they start moving, and they end up covering themselves in this mud and muck and stuff like that, and they get down this little ravine area next to the water, and friggin' creepy. I was wondering, we were waiting for when the whispers would come up, and they are here, guys. You hear it just slightly all of a sudden, and I heard something. I'm like, what was that? And we had to even rewind it. You might see in the reaction. And then suddenly you hear, "Don't let them get away," in this creepy, just real low tone, whispering voice. Whoa, man! I mean, that was awesome. So you got the whispers coming in. That's gonna be super cool. I'm really interested to learn more about them. I haven't wanted to spoil it. I hate spoilers, so I haven't really read up much on them yet. But I may have to go just do a little reading just so I can make sure I talk shop with you guys a little bit better. The last main thing I want to talk about was Carol and Henry out on the road. As they're getting ready to, they're doing their travels, doing their thing, and they get ambushed by some saviors. And you know, Henry, I gotta be honest, he's kind of annoying me already. It's just like he was when he was younger. I mean, we're talking 6 years older now. I mean, he's stronger. He's a young man. He's being useful around the community, at the kingdom. You know, he's fixing things. But he was getting some voice, you know, uppity a little bit with Ezekiel, and Ezekiel had to shoot him down on that and say, "Hey, watch your voice, young man." And now he's out here, and he hears some screaming or whatever, and he just grabs his staff and off he goes like John Wayne or whatever, just Rambo, running straight into it. And he runs straight into a trap and drags his mother, basically Carol, right in behind him. And so it was pretty cool seeing her with the bow and everything. I couldn't help but Carol kind of looked like Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis from the new Halloween movie, which is the long gray silver hair. That was kind of funny. But yeah, so they get ambushed by the saviors that were back at the encampment, the forced encampment, back when Rick was still alive a few episodes back. And so it seems they were not killed, and we never saw their bodies, so I guess it was fair to say. But here they are. They ambush him. He takes their food, and he, just to put injury to insult, whatever, he takes Carol's ring. And he says, "I want that rock too." And he takes the ring from her. I mean, I'm like, you're talking about a big no-no. So later that evening, Henry and her are talking. Henry's just this angered boy, just seeing that Carol didn't do anything about it. She just let it happen. And she says, "It doesn't matter. Ever since I have you, I need to keep you safe and this and that." Yeah, that was until we see a scene where some gasoline has been dumped over, I think his name was Jed, I want to say, but either way, him and the other chick and a few of the other saviors, and you see some boots, and at first I was like, whoa, who the hell? And it's Carol. And Carol, she looks, and he wakes up, and he's begging for us. He goes, "You'll never see us again." I'm just thinking to myself, you have had a couple of big strikes against Carol already, and you know her, and you know you should not have jacked with her like that. And she just says, "I know," and with the match lit, she drops it, and just off they go in flames. Hands down, the best scene in this episode by far. I just thought that was just, I mean, the malice in Carol. I mean, you do not screw with Carol, ever. But she did get her ring back, and there's a scene when she's on the cart horse with Henry, and Henry says, "I want to apologize for last night, and I just want us to be safe," and so forth. And he looks down and he sees the ring on her finger. He doesn't ask anything, and they don't really show his reaction too much, but maybe he suspects. I don't know.
Did you hear that?
You're right.
I heard something.
There was a whisper in there, wasn't it?
Let them get away or something, or don't let them get.
Ooh, good catch. Hold on. We're going to have to rewind that right quick. You're right, I heard it too, but I didn't know it. All right, hold on. We're going to bring that right back. Hold on. Oh, wait. Sorry. Okay. Don't let them get away. Whoa. Oh, that was creepy. The whispers are here, guys. Oh my gosh. Anyways, this was a very good episode, guys. I think it's a solid one, moving in the right direction. Losing Rick is huge. I think the show could struggle a bit trying to find themselves as they move forward. I mean, they have a lot of other strong characters, and I think there's something to say about that. But also, Rick was a big part of this, and it was his story and his show. I mean, in my opinion. I mean, I know Andrew Lincoln's been very humble in saying no, it's everybody, the community and stuff, but Andrew Lincoln was a huge piece of this, huge. So, but anyway, solid episode. I'm going to give this a 7.6 out of 10. I think it was just solid. It's just a really solid, just good episode. And hopefully we'll see Judith's character start to emerge a little bit more, and hopefully her acting can keep up with what people want out of the young Rick Grimes' daughter, so forth. And Michonne, hopefully she'll find her way and doesn't break down too much. We noticed we didn't see Maggie. There was a comment that Michonne said she didn't kick the people out. She was going to take them to the hilltop and talk to their leader. Now, she said she, So I assume that Maggie is still there, but we'll have to see how that all goes down. So I have some of the React Couch. I think that was playing. I played it during this review, and hopefully you might see a little bit after this. But I hope you guys enjoyed this short review. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're enjoying it. Again, this is just kind of a new trial base. Just want to do the React. I know there's some other channels doing React Couch too, but I love The Walking Dead. I love zombies in general. It's just our show is called Zombies, Movies, and More. I mean, it's what we do. So we also have a zombie series on our YouTube channel. It's called Dead Nightmare. We just released episode 6 just about 3 or 4 weeks ago. We were super excited about that. We have a lot of great ideas moving forward for episode 7. So I hope you guys get to come in, try and watch some. I will just give you forewarning, the acting is only subpar for the first episodes 1 through 4, but if you can stay in it as we get into 5 and 6, I think you're really going to love where the story's going, and there's some sinister and diabolical stuff going on there too. So I'm your host, Mike Schilling. This is the Z-Man channel, and I guess we'll see you at the next review. See you guys.